All right, let's start C++ basics. This video is for people who maybe they need a refresher or maybe they code it but not in the language of C++ or any similar language. Maybe you did Python and you look at C++ code and you're looking at it like, what in the world am I looking at? This video is for you. You're going to come out of this video, you're going to be able to look at code and you're going to be able to understand at least the bare bones minimum of what's going on. And yeah, we're just going to go over some syntax basics so that you don't make no simple, silly mistakes like missing a semicolon, which I tend to do a lot. So the first thing is at the beginning of every line, you're going to see this hashtag include ankle brackets IOStream. Now, what this is, it is basically the header. This right now, you shouldn't worry too much about what it means. No one who starts C++ is going to know what it means. But just think of this as like when you first start a quiz or you're writing a paper and you write your name. You will never start a paper without crediting yourself. So you're never going to start a C++ program without including the IO stream. That's all you need to know for now. And we're going to get into some of the, libraries and stuff like that. Just know that this is gonna be able to help us access most of the bare bones functions of a C++ program. The next thing you're gonna see a lot, and you're probably gonna want to include in a lot of your stuff, is using namespace std. Now, once again, don't try to read this and try to comprehend it. Just know that in most cases you're gonna want it. You're probably gonna always want it, especially if you're outputting strings and stuff like that. And what this basically does is it makes it so that we're going to go down here for a second. Whenever you're outputting something, without the namespace std, without using that, you would have to type in std : c out. But because you use the namespace, because you included it, you can output strings and you can output stuff without the std : See what I mean? Typing this is a lot easier and a lot more time saving than typing all of this. It also lets you declare strings without using the prefix std : If what I just said makes no sense to you, that's okay. Just know that it's using the namespace std save us just a little bit of typing time. So, just to recap before we go any further, always include IOStream using namespace 99% of the time. And just think of these as like you're writing the name and date before you write a paper. You would never start a paper without the name and date, right? At least. I mean, you could start one without a title, but you won't start one without your name and date. So don't start a C++ program without including IOStream and using namespace. I want you to get very familiar with these two, just typing it and just remembering to put it down before you do anything. Now, next, we start with our main function. Type in int main, followed by curved brackets, followed by curly brackets. You can hit enter to just indent it, make it look pretty. And basically what this is, it's your main function. And it's what the name implies is that this is the main like beat of your program. This is where you're going to be writing, where all the stuff happens. So let's get a example program in, and the most classical one is to print out hello world. So we'll do cout. Oh, let's talk about cout actually. So cout, this is what you use to print stuff. If you want to print a variable, you want to print a string, you want to print a character, you use cout. Basically, if you want the terminal to say something, use cout. Cout is followed by two ankle brackets pointing towards the left. So if you want the terminal to say hello world, we do cout ankle bracket, both to the left, and then in quotation marks, because we're making a string, hello world. Now, in C++ and probably in every other program language that I know of, whenever you're writing a string and you want to output a string, you always surround the message that you want to output in double brackets. And of course, the number one rule of C++ is to put a semicolon at the end of almost every line. There's some what's the word, exclusions, like, you know, the including line and some other stuff. But for the most part, 9 times out of 10, you're going to put a semicolon at the end of every line. Think of this as like writing a period at the end of a sentence. You wouldn't write a sentence without a period at the end. The readers wouldn't know when to stop. So a line without a semicolon, the computer doesn't know when to stop. Where's the end of the line? Now, say for example, we want to output some more lines instead of just hello world. Let's say we want to say hello world. How was your day today? Make sure you put that semicolon. Now let's run our program and let's see if we can get a message out of here that should say, hello world, how was your day today? Run our program and look, it says, hello world, how was your day today? You see how it just runs on? There's no space, there's no indentation. It's not even a new line. But what the heck? I put it on a new line. I mean, it's on line 6 here and on line 5 here. Why didn't it put it on a new line in the terminal when I outputted it? Did I mess something up? No, you didn't mess anything up. But this is where a very important syntax comes into play, and it is the slash t. I'm sorry, slash n. So, if you're in a situation where you want a new line to be made, a very good tool to use is the slash n. And what this basically stands for is new line. So it's telling the computer, hey, output hello world and then start a new line. And then output how was your day today. So when we run this code, we should get hello world line break. How was your day today? Let's see. Am I good at coding? Okay, yes I am. Hello world, how was your day today? You see how it's on 2 lines? Much more readable than the hello world, how was your day today on 1 line. It's generally good practice to use the slash n. There is another method that you might see, and don't be afraid of it, but it basically does the same thing. You might see 2 more double like ankle brackets followed by end L. And this basically does the same thing. If you run it here, see it says hello world, how was your day today? Nothing changed, except I just did it in a different way. Now, I highly recommend that you use slash n over inline. It's first of all, it's more easy to read. It makes your code look a little bit less, you know, novice-y. And it also refreshes the output buffer. And what that that might sound like I just like said a Harry Potter spell to you guys, but essentially it's a lot less efficient to do inline. But in technical terms, it refreshes the output buffer. If you know what that means, that's cool. If you don't, that's also cool. You'll know what it means soon enough. But generally, you want to use slash n, not inline, and it accomplishes the same thing. No one's gonna kill you for using slash n, but they might look at you funny. I'm gonna look at you funny. That is also the wrong slash. I think I might be the funniest of them all. So the next thing I want to show you guys is I kind of sneak peek spoiled you guys a little bit, but slash t. Now, what this does is basically it puts a tab in between the line that's behind it and the line that's in front of it. And we can run the program so you guys can see visually what it does. Hello world, tab. How was your day today? This is pretty good if you want to make like columns and stuff like that, or like, you know, just space out sentences. I don't use it too much, but you might see it and don't be confused. It just means tab. Another one is you might be wondering, wait a minute, if we're using slashes for new lines and tabs, what if I want to print a slash, you know, like hello world slash hello earth, for example, right? Well, if you type in hello world slash hello earth, you're going to get an error. So how in the world do I print hello world slash hello earth? Oh, wait, we didn't even get an error. We just got this jargon here. But notice how the slash isn't there, even though I put it up here. Like, where is it? Come on, man. Did the creators of C++ forget something? No. If you ever want to print a slash, you simply just add another one. And now you'll see hello world / hello earth. How's your day today? Yeah, let's put a new line so that's a little bit more readable. Okay, there we go. Hello world / hello earth. How was your day today? And then finally, there might be a time where you want to print out quotation marks within your string, but you might be wondering, wait, we're using quotation marks to let the computer know that we're making a string. How do we print quotation marks? It's similar to the slash problem that we had. Whenever you want to print out quotation marks within your string, you simply just put slash quotation mark. But let's use a real example. Let's say hello world, hello earth. Let's see. Slash aliens are invading. And then we put slash quotation mark. Now, what these two slash quotation marks do allows us to print out quote marks without getting a compile error. We should get hello world / hello earth. Aliens are invading. Also, I always forget the new line. Let's just run that again. That doesn't look pretty. I don't like that. Okay. Hello world / hello earth. Aliens are invading. So those are just simple things that you need to know in case you run into like errors and stuff like that. And maybe you want to print out certain symbols or characters like the slash or quotation mark, and you're wondering like, man, how in the world do I do that? Well, here you go. If you ever want to print out a slash, you just do //. If you ever want to print out quotation marks in your string, then you just do / quotation marks. If you want a new line, you put / new line, and it will create a new line for you and print it out similar to how you wrote it. Now, one last thing. This has nothing to do with strings, but you should know it's comments. Now, what people tend to do whenever a program gets very long and complicated, what tends to happen is people add comments so that whenever someone else comes in to read the code, they know what's happening. And the way you write comments is very easy. You simply just use / in the opposite direction, the slashes that are slanting towards the right. And then whatever you write followed by the slashes, anything that's in the green text you see here is a comment. But let's use a real example here. Let's say this line prints a message. And we'll say another comment. This line prints another message. And we can put comments anywhere. It doesn't matter. We can put a comment all the way up here. This is our header. This makes it so we don't have to write std. And whenever we run the code, nothing will happen to it. We did nothing to the code. All we did was add harmful messages in English that people can read in order to better understand our code. Let's run it so you guys know that I'm not lying. See, look, the code ran fine. Hello world / hello earth. Aliens are invading. How was your day today? So that's basically the general stuff. You'll learn more syntax as you go on. But before we get into variables and stuff like that, I just want you guys to practice just using cout, printing messages in quotation marks, printing messages with slashes, printing messages with, new lines and stuff like that, adding comments to your program, and just get used to using include IOStream and using namespace std. Remember, you don't have to know what these mean. You just have to know that you're going to use them 99.9% of the time. It's always going to be the first two lines of your code, as well as int main function. Just type this, followed by curly brackets, and then curly brackets. Make sure you close them. And yeah, that's the basic C++ syntax. I'll see you guys in the next one.